11 Central today, and sometimes it happens. I was on the dentist and it went to a little bit long. So forgive me, I'm running late. And it's so interesting. It's like I love hiring the right people to do the right jobs, right? So I learned so many things as an entrepreneur. I'm always running numbers, and it's so interesting with business because there's things that you do, you listen to your intuition and your ideas. And then at the same time, you run numbers. And when you're running numbers, you strip all the emotions and you look at them like, okay, what do I do? And I love when you're looking at a project and you're running all the numbers. So I'm looking at my investment. This is how much money I have and how are my dividends and how that's going to grow. And I'm going to be at least 94. So how I'm going to pay my bills for now until then. And running all the numbers and looking of like, okay, I want to buy a house. So I'm thinking about buying a house and I'm looking at all different numbers. So at one time we had 7 units that we were renting. And the thing that I noticed is that when we had 3 in one house, that's when we had the most money. Like when we rented one place. So when of all the rentings that we had, the things that I remembered is when we lived in the house and we were renting downstairs, we had the least amount of problems because when you live there and you're renting the other place, you guys have to kind of be friends. So you notice when they're doing things that are not right. And when you make friends with the person that's renting, you go into their house, you have tea with them. So you have an idea that they're doing a good job renting or not. But when you rent and you don't live there, they can do things that you don't notice. And that was the hardest. And the one that we made the most money is when we had 3 units in one place, a triplex. So I'm running all these numbers and I'm like, okay, if I buy a house for this amount, if I'm renting for one, if I have renting 2 places, and I'm running all these numbers and I'm like, okay, these are the house in Winnipeg and this is what renting would be cost. And I'm running all these numbers, and a great financial person who had the patience to run all these numbers. And he's like, okay, you're going to run out of money at this year and you need to come up with 53,000. And so he's running all these numbers, which is so great. But what's so interesting is all of these different ways to make money and those investments and all that stuff that I realized. And of all the ones that I'm running, like all these different ways, what's so interesting, if I rent for $3,000, I'm only come over of like, if I rent a place, and rent 2 other places in there, so I live there for free and I have to deal with all the renting and anything that goes wrong with the house. And I was like, I'm only going to make $3,000 more in the long game. And of course, you don't know where realtor is going up or down, but I'm just like, this can't be right. Like, this can't be right that renting is better than buying a house. With all these numbers that we spent an hour and a half running numbers, and this patient guy who let me run all these numbers. And it's so interesting that you think, like, on paper, this is how we should do. And then when you run numbers, then you find out what's really happened. And the thing I love about, like with people, with numbers, you can always tell a story. This story means this and does that. But it's so interesting is that numbers never lie. Like, I love how honest numbers are. If you're running the numbers, this is what's happening. You can always follow them. They have you always path where the money came and where is it going. But it's so, like, I freaking love numbers because they never lie. You can make up the stories, but that's what it is. And I freaking love numbers. I love people and numbers, and I love when my clients make lots of money. I'm so excited. I was just just reminded, one of the things that I do in my business coach is that I also do design for them. And I freaking love it. And then I make templates so that they can do them and they could edit and they never need me again. Like, that's the whole point as a parent, as an entrepreneur, is that they don't need you. I freaking love this. Okay, so leave your questions, and I wasn't gonna launch again till the 11th of next month, but I'm thinking maybe I should do it again because I love startups. They're so freaking good. So just reminding you, if you woke up today, the world needs you just like you. So keep going. Don't pretend to be anyone else, just like you. Level up, you can get better. I'm the kind of person that I use food first, exercise, mindset, and then pills for the last one. So like all the things are positive. And positive is super important, and your mindset and when you think is super important, but they also need science. So I send you love, and do the hard things, because as a grown-up, you need to parent yourself and get your old shit done. So I send you love, and we need you just like you. And I'm going to start on my day. Have a good day. Mwah! Have a wonderful day. And I'm sitting. I'm not driving. Okay. Have a good day. Okay, how do I stop? Am I live? I am live. How do I get it? How do we get up? I'm done. Done.